Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Final Two podcast. Today, we have a very special guest, none other than Canada's own sophomore, Caleb Baker. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. T.O.
Man's repping FDU too, man. What's going on, T.O.? How you doing?
Not much. Just chilling right now, living life at school.
God damn, man.
Where did T.O. come from?
T.O. That came from Jaleel. He started the nickname when I first got here in the session. That's short form for Toronto because I'm from Toronto, so T.O. Toronto.
Yeah, because when I first met you, they were calling you T.O. And I'm like, T.O. Like, I'm like thinking for like the longest time, like, where does the T and the O come from? Like, I had no idea until now. So that's kind of funny. That's something Jaleel would do, though. No funny shit.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even know, like, what is T.O.? His name's Caleb. Starts with But now some people know T.O. Toronto.
That's tough. Dude, like, bring me back now. Before even choosing FDU, you know, the whole high school experience. So you didn't play in Canada during your high school time, right?
No, I played 1 year in Canada.
Okay.
And because my birthday is late, my birthday's in December. So when I got to the US, they put me back. And so I guess they told me to be in the right grade. So I played 4 years in the US at boarding school.
Wow.
At the high school.
So what was that like? How old were you when you went to boarding school?
I was 13 years old.
Damn.
13 turning 14. So
what decision did your parents make to send you to boarding school? What did they see in that boarding school to trust that school of, you know, keeping their baby boy there?
Yeah, so in Canada, like Canadian basketball at the time, it wasn't too big, and like it still isn't like that big in like the high school aspect of just being able to have like an opportunity to get recruited by like Division I schools. So like the organization that I played for had like a lot of like NBA Division I athlete alums, and just from talking to like a lot of like the head coaches throughout that organization, they just told me, and my parents they're just like, the opportunity to get that scholarship, it's a lot bigger and better in the US. So right off the bat, my parents and we talked, and they just told me, like, we both agreed it'd be better if I went down across the border and played basketball there.
Who was really committed in that decision? Like, because I know your father is big in basketball, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, was it a tough decision? Like, you know, you were young, 13 years old. That's young. Like, my parents are still worried now, like constantly on my case. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm freaking 20 years old, like 13 years old, going to another country. What was that like?
It was pretty tough at first, just thinking about it. I was anxious, 13 years old, like going to the US, whole different, like similar culture, but it's a lot different. So I was pretty nervous, like going into it, thinking it's going to happen with my friends back here. Am I going to be able to make new friends when I go to the school? How am I going to fit in? But I mean, after like the first week, my school, they had us in like a lot of activities together just to get to know each other. There's a lot of like students in like the same situation as me, students from like China, Russia, Africa, like countries in Africa, all over the world at that school together. Like my roommate, he was from Nigeria. And to this day, we're still really close friends. We talk like almost every day.
So you were in a game and coaches came up to your parents and told them about this? Or was it they were scouting out, like they made the research to get you to the boarding school?
So I played a lot, like my AAU was all in the US, and the organization that I played for, Canada Elite, they played on like the Under Armour circuit. So they had a lot of connections with different universities in the US, and then a lot of their guys that were older than me, they were in the same situation as me. They went to boarding school and played basketball in high school in the US. So they knew a lot of like the coaches, and they knew like the do's and don'ts and the in and outs with that whole process of going to the States. And they just put me in contact, my parents in contact with my high school coach.
Damn. I mean, when you said the AAU Under Armour circuit, I just think of like big names, like especially right now that are going to the draft on Wednesday, like Nico Mannion, Josh Green. I mean, like, what was that experience like, especially facing, potential NBA players. I know that you mentioned also that you faced RJ Barrett and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We'll get into those players after, but I just want to hear your experience with the Under Armour circuit. What was that experience like?
That experience was honestly was crazy. Like 15 was the first time I got to go and like play on that stage, and that was just something I never experienced before. Like you'd have a bunch of Division I college coaches sitting right on the sideline in the bleachers underneath the net, just watching you. And there's like a ton of games going on. They put a lot of like Under Armour posters around the gym, have the Under Armour logos on the floor and stuff. So it was crazy. And then like,
Damn.
playing Nico Mannion and Josh Green, like that was a fun game. And my team, we actually won that game against, it was like, I think they played for West Coast Elite. But we won that game, and I finished with like the player of the game with a triple double.
Get out of here. On Nico Mannion?
On Nico Mannion, yeah,
He was guarding you?
Yeah, we were going like at it the whole time, like that whole week. That was like
we need to see the videos. We need to see the videos. That's tough.
That was like I'll show you, but that was like the key matchup for that weekend in that game. And
so I understand that Steph Curry is the big brand ambassador of Under Armour. Was any of like NBA players there?
Yeah, so like certain NBA players would walk around. Like one time, Steph Curry, he was at like the finals. Like, he was sitting at the finals. I think his team was playing in the final game, so he was there for, I think it was like a 17U team. He was there the one time, and then that was at the time when like that whole Jelly Fam thing was huge, and like Isaiah.
Oh, JQ.
Oh yeah, with Isaiah and stuff like that.
So the first time I got there was in New York City. It was down on like the harbor, I think, and I remember walking into the gym and I just saw like 100 people on the one court, just surrounding that court. I was just thinking, who's playing there? And then I just hear people screaming, Jelly Fam, Jelly Fam. It's Isaiah Washington. I just see him playing. I'm like, damn.
It's crazy because I'm from New York, and like I like basketball, but it's not like I really like know the ins and out. But Isaiah is like a big time like New York guy. So like all over the city, you see everybody screaming Jelly Fan, Jelly Fan. So like I can see why that court was getting mobbed, because he's a superstar in New York. He's like a superstar. So that is insane, bro. Like, weren't you nervous? You're seeing this court.
Especially seeing the NBA players, you had to be surreal. Like Steph Curry just walking around. Like I see him on TV, and I'm just like, this guy looks like this guy's untouchable on the court.
Yeah.
And then you just see him walk there, and it's just like, this is really happening. Like I'm witnessing this.
So is he bigger in person? Sorry to cut you off, Sal, but is he bigger in person?
I didn't get to I wasn't like right beside him. Like I just saw him from like a distance, and I was like, damn, that's Steph Curry. But like he was sitting down, walking around, and like he looked like what you see on TV. He was joking around. He was like on their bench helping coach, and I was like, wow.
So what it wasn't now, how did you try to get into that process for the SC Select camp? Because I know he does that as well with Under Armour.
Yeah, so the one player from my organization, Nikhil Alexander Walker, he was like the first Canadian to be a part of that Steph Curry camp thing. But I tried to get into it, but they select like certain people, and it's not just from like that Under Armour circuit. It's like they'll pick people from like the Nike circuit or Adidas. They just try to pick like the top players in the country, and I think they pick girls as well. A lot of the top girls.
Wow. So that process was like elite, basically.
Yeah,
so can you guys walk me through what the Under Armour Nike circuit is, Adidas circuit? Like
how did you get into that?
How does this work?
So the brands Nike, that's the biggest one. And then there's Under Armour and Adidas. I'd say Under Armour's about second out of those three. And then they go around and they have NBA players that will go and sponsor teams, or Nike will just go themselves and give a certain like organization a Nike contract. So for like 4 years, 3 years, 1 year, they have that contract that they get their 15U team to 17U, whatever they choose. They send them gear, they send them a lot of gear, shoes and stuff. And they have like little tournaments, like you go play 4 games. It's like, I think maybe like once every month in the summer during that time. And you go there, it's like a live period. So college coaches can come watch, and That's really it. So it's like it's a big like stage that you get to play on. A lot of the top guys that you see in like the draft and making their name in high school and college, they all play on one of the three brands.
Yeah, when I was a basketball player, and that was the thing, like I used to be worried about like my mother used to like pay a lot of money for the AAU, but I never realized that it's really important besides high school.
Yeah.
Would you say that like AAU was a necessity in your process of, going D1?
I think it was like that was one of the biggest ways to get recruited. Like you have college coaches, even if they're not there for you, they're still watching you play.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
still on their radar if you play really well, and that's how I got the offers that I got in high school. And FDU was Coach Patrick Sellers. He found me playing AAU.
Wow. So it wasn't through your high school, it was through AAU.
No, like I got a lot of looks from high school, but mainly I made like a name for myself to get like looks from Division I schools through AAU.
All right, you heard it. You heard a D1 player right there, ladies and gentlemen. You try to get that offer or that process to get exposed, definitely go to AAU, like T.O. was talking about.
That's crazy. That's actually not. I'm sorry to cut you off, Sam, but the same thing with baseball. It's like these travel. We don't call it AAU. We call it travel teams, and like that's the main way of getting seen. Like you go to these tournaments and you play for them, and like T.O. is saying, it's like you go to these tournaments and looking at this kid. But you end up making a good play. The guy will give you a card. Hey, listen, email me, or hey, I would like to talk to your coach. I would like to talk to you. Like that's how it really works. That's how the process of college sports works. It's just right place, right time.
Exactly.
So true. It's just like a job. It's just like when applying for a job, like getting that awesome connection or that network, and then boom, you got that internship. Like,
yes,
it's all. Of course, you're putting in that hard work. Like T.O.'s talking about, he had that game that Patrick Sellers saw him, and then boom, he got that that notice. He got exposure, and he's here at FDU. It's the same thing with jobs, so that's really interesting. And on top of it, your high school. So like you played with the AAU with Under Armour circuit, ton of competition there, but also in high school you were playing. Were you also playing against like those academies, the Monteverde and like those big time academies, those high schools?
Yeah.
Oak Hill. That was through your high school?
Oak Hill.
Like my high school coach, he coached at what was called Montrose Christian.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago, and he coached guys like Kevin Durant, Michael Beasley.
Holy.
Got to coach those guys, and then he went to my high school, St. James, and pretty much every year we had the St. James Invitational tournament, and that was huge. I mean, you had like Montverde, #1 team in the country, Oak Hill, Lamere, Sunrise, Wasatch, all those top teams that produced like the big name players. They were all in my high school gym in small city in Maryland.
So who would you say was like the toughest competitor amongst those schools? If you could like name three.
I definitely say RJ Barret for sure. And then I put Bol up there.
You faced Bol?
Yeah, I faced Bol at he played for Finley Prep, and
holy crap!
My one moment was I had a floater over him. I literally just threw the ball.
You did a Steph Curry floater.
Yeah, it went high and just dropped in. I was like, damn.
Oh my god! So
how hard is it to score on Bol though?
Isn't he like 7? What is he? 7'4", 7'5"? How tall is he?
Oh, like
he's big, man.
One of my teammates, he had a breakaway layup, and he was going up, and Bol was at like the free throw line area. I looked back to go back on defense because like wide open layup, he's gonna score. I turned around, the other team's coming back at us, and Bol blocked his shot.
Oh my god, dude, that's like worrying about LeBron with the chase down block. But with Bol, like he's got Kevin Durant's shot on top of it with the height. If you saw him in Denver Nuggets this year in the bubble, oh my god, that's scary.
That's scary.
Talent for sure. But I'd say like the third player would probably be Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish.
Damn, man, you faced all. Damn.
Duke guys. Is Cam from Duke? Cam Reddish or no?
Cam Reddish and RJ Barret both went to Duke.
I want to make sure because I don't want to say a random thing and be like, come on,
yeah,
bro.
No. That's crazy.
Like the crazy thing was he played on this school in PA called Westtown. And that team had Brandon Randolph. He's at Arizona. Mo Bamba. He's in the NBA. And then Cam Reddish was also on that team.
So how are you feeling watching these guys play? In your mind, are you saying these guys are going to be in the league soon? Or is it like, or are you like, oh, I hope they make it? But is it almost like while you're playing with them, like these guys are going to be in the league?
Yeah, like, because I was coming from Canada, I didn't really know who these players were. Like, I wasn't aware of like the national rankings and stuff. Like I knew like the big name players, but like I remember going to the gym, we were playing Cam Reddish, we're waiting in like the hallway to walk in. Just Coach Calipari walks right by us.
Holy crap.
Like, what? Who's he here for? And then my teammate says, yeah, Cam Reddish, Mo Bamba. Like, damn. And then I realized, like, I learned after that game who those guys were.
but did that motivate you though? Let's be honest. Like, listen, I don't give a crap who these players are. I'm Kalen Baker. Let me make myself notice as well.
No, for sure.
That kind of like
yeah, that year going up against those guys was just like crazy. I was like, I'm going up against these guys. Maybe if I play good, who knows? I can get a look.
So how did that game go? Right off the tip off, boom, you tying up your laces. Ball goes up. What happens?
Right off the tip, our tallest guy was probably like 6'9", guarding.
Yeah, just 6'9", like 6'9". Yeah.
No, but Bobo is 7'4".
But that's what I'm saying. Like this guy is 6'9". This guy doesn't even fit in my wall. And like we're like, yeah, he's 6'9", like nothing. Yeah. Anyways, keep going. I'm so sorry. Like
going off the bat, I think they had like 3 straight dunks. We ended up losing that game by like 30, 40 maybe. It was just a blowout.
Like what do you even say as a coach at that point? It's like, all right, I mean, we faced Ball, RJ Barret, Cam Reddish.
Like, how's that fair?
Like, you just got to accept it.
That game was bad. Like, we accepted that. And then, like, next year and, like, later on, like, a lot of the games we played against those national teams were a lot closer.
This should be illegal to play with players like that. Like, there should be illegal to play with players like that. There has to be a rule that should not be allowed.
That's like, it's like they're setting up the Warriors with Kevin Durant, Curry, and freaking Clay. Like they need to have balance. That's seriously. But what was I gonna say? Like it's crazy that like how big AAU has become. Like with IMG Academy and all these big names, like where LaMelo was playing for his high school, and then Spire Academy. Like now. Did you ever have in mind, because I know that a lot of athletes now, I don't know if you've noticed, college like basketball is kind of diminished more or less. A lot of players have been going overseas or going straight to G League. Players like RJ Hampton, LaMelo Ball. Were you ever, because I know you were Canadian, and though you were playing in America, I don't know, did you have like playing in the US like in your mind for college, or were you ever thinking about, EuroLeague at a young age?
Being from Canada, there's not many like leagues at that time that you could just go and, just play in, like and make like decent money and stuff. So like it was always like growing up, it was always my parents like installed that you have to, go to college, get your education. And then it turned out like getting a free education, like can't really beat that. Mm-hmm. Those top guys that get to go, to like the EuroLeague and make that money and just have that experience. Like I'm all for that. Like I think if you can play at that level, at a high level like that, then you definitely should. Like don't take that opportunity for granted. Yeah,
because at the end of the day, I mean, after 4 years in college, more or less, you're gonna end up in European leagues. So it's not a bad route. Personally, I think. You definitely want to have an education though, like especially like you're going at a young age. If you don't have guidance from family or whatever at a young age, going to another country, dealing with new currency, lifestyles, it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? So, but for you, like you did boarding school. So like you kind of had that exposure already and knew kind of what life was like in the US at 13 years old. So
I have a rebuttal for what you just said. I completely agree with you, your statement. But I do also feel like a lot of kids go to college which don't care. Like kids will go to college and literally like even though you like go get an education, they're in college for nothing. Like they don't care. So if it's for you not to care, you might as well go overseas, in my opinion. Like because it's like almost when there's a high school kid that you talk to your son and you say, go to a trade instead of college, because you see that they have more potential going to a trade than going to college. So I feel like that's where it really the line is drawn. It's like, are you going to take college serious? Like, yes or no? And if the kid goes, no, I'm not, then you might as well just go overseas, in my opinion.
No, you have a point there as well. But strikingly, for the hardworking players, the kids that are really going to invest their time, like T.O. and many others in this program, like college is definitely the way to go. Just, you just got to be on track. You got to not only be on track of practicing hard in the sport, but I think like a lot of athletes definitely need that backup plan. Like Kobe Bryant was always talking about, like he was reading more and more and more throughout like games, throughout travel time, on the plane. And people would ask him, why are you reading so much? Like, what's the point? Because he's just educating himself. It's just an attribute that you're gaining, even though you don't have it. Why not take that attribute and move on with it? And he was a businessman afterwards, God rest his soul. But that's the thing that people need to understand, especially athletes, because now, I don't know if you've noticed, FDU announced that we had a marketing person for us, person that was helping with brands, Mr. Darlow. And that's a big thing. Like the NCAA passing the law now, not the law, but the regulation that, athletes can make a brand off their names, you know what I mean? Like have merchandise, stuff like that. So have you been thinking like, 'cause like that's going to, next 2 years, you might have an advantage with that. Have you ever thought about, making a brand out of your game?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like that comes to mind, but I feel like for that to happen, you need to be like on that big circuit, like that big type of market in college, like those blood schools and the ACC, Big Ten type of schools, those Power 5 schools.
Mm-hmm.
You also need to have that name behind yourself. Like you have to have that name on social media. A lot of people follow you. You're a big name throughout college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Even like little kids.
You have a good mindset, T.O., because a lot of kids don't think like that. Like Sal and I were thinking about this recently. We're like, hey, should we come out with something like the final 2 merch? But then we sat down, we looked at each other, and we said, we're not there yet. Like we're not. You have to win that respect. You can't just come out with a brand not doing anything. Like your brand is you. Like the final 2, TF2 is us. Like that's us. But that brand isn't built yet. We have 115 subscribers. Like it's not built yet, so we haven't got the right to build that merch. Same thing you're talking about. Like it's like you're at FDU. It's a small market. Like you have to get yourself to another level before you even view yourself of making money off of it. So
you just have to be realistic with yourself. Like even like me, like am I gonna be able to make a brand off myself being at FDU, being like the player that I am here? Or like would that be easier for a guy like LaMelo Ball, say, who has a big name behind him, who has that social media following, gonna be a number 1 pick in the draft, just being able to have that.
But you know what? The thing though that you could still be optimistic about, and still there is a possibility that you could become very popular, is if you have a breakout performance in March Madness. God willingly, we go back to the tournament. That's huge. It's just like when the manager from a college, I forgot his first name, but it was something Snacks. This manager hit like 2 threes and got exposure off the bat. Got exposure and got a shout out from Kevin Durant. He won an ESPY for hitting those threes. It's almost like a breakout moment can happen. So definitely, I would say be prepared for that and have a backup plan. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's something just like dream about as a kid. Growing up, like having that breakout performance on that March Madness stage. Like that's something I'll always like work towards. Hopefully you get there. Hopefully we get back there, and just hopefully be able to have that.
God willingly, absolutely. So going into my bad. What were you gonna say, Ali?
No. Like T.O. has his mind right. You know what I mean? How have you been balancing it all out? Because I remember when T.O. came. For his visit. I'm one of the first people he met when he came for his visit. T.O., what did you think of Ali when you met him the first time?
I thought you're a character, colorful character, real outgoing. But no, for sure. Like I could tell you're like a cool dude. Like everyone on campus definitely liked you. Definitely like outgoing, colorful person. For sure.
I remember seeing T.O. and they're like, yo, this is a freshman that's coming. I can't even say things I told them like on air, but I was like, bro, you're gonna have fun here. Trust me, you'll know who I am. Sure. And look at him now, sophomore here. You're a sophomore now, correct?
Yeah, sophomore.
Bro, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. How has COVID changed you though? Because you're coming in freshman year, hoping, it's a big year. You're getting your feet wet, ready to go. Sophomore year, I'm really gonna hit the ground running, and boom, this
Yeah.
thing happens.
It's like freshman year, like I came in like in high school, I was like a player on my team, like a top player on my team, and then coming in freshman year, didn't really play that much. It was just like eye opening. It just made me more motivated to work harder to try to get on that rotation. And COVID hit, and I think COVID really like helped me a lot. Just getting like stronger. It's something that I had to really work on like throughout COVID. Just working out a lot. Put about like 20 pounds on. So I think that really helped me a lot going into like the sophomore year. Just training my body, my mind to be ready to assess to try to have that moment, like that breakout performance.
That's big time. Damn.
What-
So going with that process, like with COVID, I mean, they still sent you the home workouts, but like, what were you really doing? Were you doing more basketball on the side though? Since like because I know Canada wasn't like it wasn't terrible like how we were in the U.S. completely locked down. So what was the training like?
It was pretty tough, like that March to like May period.
Mhm.
Like that in Canada, we were locked down.
Oh, you were completely locked down.
Nothing was really open from March to like August. They started reopening things. Like COVID really slowed down in like I'd say like June maybe, but it was pretty tough. Like that first like 2 months, there wasn't really any gyms open, and like everyone was locked down. So like my trainers back home couldn't go and train with them. I mean, I had some weights at my house that I used every day, and then just like going to the park with my little brother, just working out with him.
So you said you became mentally strong. What did you do to become mentally strong? Because physical, hey, you run, lift some weights at home, this and the third, do a couple push-ups, you're big. But mentally, a lot of people don't know how to strengthen their mind. How did you strengthen up your mind?
Exactly. What really motivated you?
Mentally, I was just watching like a lot of film from last year, and just like probably like every once in a while, just looking at like my stats. Like that's something that motivated me. I didn't want to see like a lot of like did not plays, a lot of like 5 minutes. I wanted to motivate myself to, hey, that's gonna change next year. If I can get up to like 20, get a good amount of minutes. But just watching like a lot of film of myself, the team, just like NBA players that I look up to.
Who are the NBA players you look up to?
Say like a lot of Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Kyrie, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, like a lot of those guys. I watch a lot of film.
It's tough. Shout out Jason Kidd right there. That's tough. What were you gonna say, Ali?
No, just listening just to Caleb. Like just I don't know, man. I really see you like really locked in and focused. Like, what would you say to yourself coming in freshman year to now? Like, what would you say is the biggest difference that you've noticed within yourself, and you would tell yourself coming in as freshman year, like, hey, little bud, like this is what you're gonna get yourself into. Get ready. You know what I mean? What would you say to yourself in that moment in time?
Honestly, just like be realistic with myself. Like going in, I've always been like the man. My high school team, I was always the man on that team. Like I said, so going in, I was expecting, what, I'm gonna go in, probably gonna be like high school. I'll be able to get that spot in that rotation, and like, that just didn't happen at all. So like now, tell myself just don't get like a big head. Just still be humble about like what's going on with you, and just being able to like realize, hey, nothing's gonna be given to you. Like I have to go out there, earn those minutes, that playing time myself.
Would you say though, like the level of playing field too, like it's much more like, especially a D1 atmosphere. Was it different from what it was like in high school?
Oh yeah,
for you?
it was completely different. Like I played against those those big name guys a lot through high school, so like that just made me think like it might be like similar, but it was completely different. Like the pace of the game was a lot faster. Just everyone's size, like a lot of the guys were strong, like real strong, weighed more than me, more athletic, moved faster. So for me, it was just like going into this year, just I need to get myself bigger, stronger, faster, so I can get in there and compete against those guys.
So Tio, one thing I would say too for me that I saw when I came to Division I was like the talent level, like yes, it's harder. It's just the players are smarter. It's like these people have very high IQ now. Like that's the hardest part about the transition to the next level. It's like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy's just not good. He knows what he's doing. That's way more important than talent is your IQ because you will get spotted out right off the bat if your IQ is not there.
The scouting reports were really no joke coming here. And this, like everyone's experience, that really, like that's like not a big thing. And I guess like that high major, like those like those top 5 conferences, like they have a lot of freshmen that come in and play. But for me this year, just realizing, hey, a lot of these guys have experience. Like they've been in these situations a lot. They know what to do when X, Y, Z happens. Just that experience and the scouting report and just knowing the guy's tendency and the plays you're gonna run, they look for.
Dude, wouldn't you say though, like you were talking about the scouting report as well, like especially studying players, competitors on the other team. Like it's almost like when I remember I was rooming one time with Caleb Bishop, who just graduated and he's playing in Bulgaria right now.
Caleb.
Shout out Caleb, you know what I mean?
AB.
So, dude, it looked like he was studying for an exam. The way he had to study the film, the freaking. Because I remember Coach G had Stokes give everybody like these freaking packets, just lists of players and their tendencies and what they're good at in the game, level of gameplay. Dude, what was it like? Like, did you ever have that in high school? Like, I remember in high school, all we did was just watch film, and then that was it. Like, we didn't have like freaking paperwork.
My high school coach would have us watch the film of the other team, and then we'd go to practice.
Yeah.
As like compared to now, we'd practice their sets, and then they'd give us like a paper, like a couple pages of like their starting 5 and just like a breakdown of their top guys. But it was pretty similar to like coming to FDU and this scouting report. But the FDU scout, like Division I scouting report, it's a lot more detailed, has more to it.
Tio, what keeps you so calm, my boy? Like, man, oh man, like you're like me a little bit, very quiet, soft spoken, very
Yo, did anybody ever like joke around with you, be like, yo, like you remind me of Kawhi Leonard a little bit? Like Kawhi Leonard's a little like soft spoken.
No, Tio's not as awkward as Kid.
He will freaking break you in the court, you know what I mean? Like have you ever gotten like reference with that or not?
I haven't got a reference to Kawhi, but I definitely got a lot of like, you're really quiet, you're calm, you chill. I'm a really relaxed person.
What does it take to like get you upset? Because I've cried after games before, like frustration. When you cry because like you're frustrated, not because you're like upset, you're just frustrated. That like, do you cry at all, Tio? Like, do you ever have tears? Something?
I really don't have tears. Like after a game we lose, I'll get frustrated, but I mean tears, nah. That doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, I never cried either. I'm just, I was just an example. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's moments, man. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Guys be like, you crying, bro? I'll be like, no. What you talking about, bro? It's bad allergies around here. What you talking about, bro? Get away from me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That the one game that I was getting like little teary eye. Oh, my light just went out. I'll fix that. I got a little teary eye like when
laser tag, like laser tag. Like laser tag.
Bro, I don't know why my light just went out, but
he's the best.
Can I tag you, Sal? We gotta come tag me now. I can't. I'm sorry. Go tag.
I have no idea what that happened. But I was gonna say the LIU game, bro, where we came back. We were down 21 points. Came back, and damn it, they scored in the last second. My heart dropped, bro, because that was one of the craziest comebacks I witnessed in person. But we fell short. I mean, that game, I was like freaking. I felt I was with you. I didn't like cry emotionally because I wasn't a player, going through it. But damn it, I felt that pain because it was just like, imagine if we were on the other side of that and we won. What a freaking victory that would have been like. So dealing with a loss like that and you were there for it, what like struck your mind? Like, I want to come back here and I want to prove that we could win and go back to it.
Like during that game, like we came back and I thought 100% in my mind. Like I was confident we're going to come. Like we came back and I thought we were going to win. Like down that stretch at the end, we're playing really well. And then he just happened to make like a player on LIU happened to make a tough shot to win the game. But it was a pretty tough feeling, like losing that game and just knowing like, hey, the season's over. But it hurt a little bit more that like that was my captain, KB. Like that's his last college game. Like just thinking about that really hurt more than that really added more to like the loss.
You know what? I would say this about basketball team, and I always say this, and anytime it gets mentioned, I love the way you guys are so close.
Yeah.
Like you guys ride or die for your guys, and man, oh man, a lot of teams like lack that. I'm not trying to throw any subs. A lot of teams like that because it's like I felt like your team at one point because I felt like love, man. There's natural love on the court. We don't need to love each other off the court, like it doesn't matter. But it's like there's genuine love. There's genuinely tears for that person. Like you're not just playing for yourself and your family. You're playing for that senior, for that guy that you've looked up to since the start.
Yeah, that's definitely. Like, I think we really become brothers. Like we spend so much time together, whether that's off the court, like even playing video games or in the gym. We just spend time with each other and really build that bond with each other and become brothers.
I think that's what leads you guys to success because I feel like it's not all talent every time. You know what I mean? Like you guys are very talented, but what really comes together is when you guys start loving each other. You know what I mean? It's like that love is really there. I really see it. Anyone could see it. That's why you guys are so successful. And that comes down from the coaching, from the leadership, from everything. There's some formula that you guys have that it works because new freshmen come in and they buy in right away.
Dude, today T.O. saw it and it was his first day back. Dude, the practice was insane. The 3 freshmen that we have, and I'm going to have them on the show, P.O., Mikey, and Joe. These kids balled out and they're already in the system. It's insane how the coaches run it, from Coach G to Coach Hamburger, Stokes, Mike Stroback. The staff and the coaching is just insane with this program. What really struck your eye, like when Pat Sellers came to you? And Pat Sellers is another great coach. He's at where's he coach now? Fairfield. Great, another great coach. What did he say to you that really like made you decide, or was it Coach G? Did they say something to you in the recruiting process that like struck your eye?
At first, I talked to Coach Sellers at first about the recruiting and like FDU, and then I talked to Coach G. But the one thing that really struck my eye was like who Coach Sellers told me he recruited. He told me he recruited Shabazz Napier, Kemba Walker, like those big name guys. So that really caught my eye. And then he told me how FDU is going to have the program itself. Like, it's a winning culture.
Wow. Damn.
And for me, like I committed in the spring, so I got to be recruited throughout their March Madness run. And
wow, that is true.
Were you watching the games too?
I was watching the games on TV with all my teammates in high school, watching these guys play Prairie View and Gonzaga on that March Madness stage, and that was like that for me really like sealed the deal. Like that's somewhere I want to be. Coach G.
Did you happen to see when I lost my head during the Gonzaga game?
I didn't see that, but you guys told me when I came on like the visit, like told me about you and that moment that night, and I was like, damn, I wish I saw that.
Oh my god.
Yo, Tio, you're a March Madness baby. You're like the baby boomer because like that's just the icing on the top. Like you're telling your friends, that's my team. That's the team I'm going
That's
to.
where I'm going. You know what I mean? That's awesome.
That sense of pride, like telling like the people in my school, like, yeah, the school I'm going to, they're playing in March Madness.
So what a win that was against Prairie View. What a comeback.
I have a really, really question. This is like a deep question. This is deep. Yeah. This might get me in some hot water type of question. So you're going to all these schools, right? And like you're seeing the campus, whatever. And after you lacks a little bit of the campus, Metro.
Ali.
A little bit. I'm not saying it's an ugly. It's a nice campus. I'm just saying compared to some of these other campuses,
of course, the larger campuses.
Yes, larger. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just being honest here. What was there anything you were like, oh, maybe I should go to this nice campus at UMass, or no, I'm gonna stick to the basketball team. That's what I came to do here, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so like for me, like that whole scene, like yeah, that's cool and all, but like what am I like for me? I was like, what am I here to do? Like I'm here to play basketball, get education.
Ooh,
being that, just being in that that winning culture, that winning environment.
That's a
That
winning
mindset.
mentality.
The winning mentality, baby.
So that was really the big icing on the cake for me, was just maybe the other campus lacks some stuff, but like, they're right outside of New York City.
That is true too. It's like
Right?
that's a very good point that you say there. Is our campus, like, even though it may not be the nicest one in the world, but it's like, don't worry, like, we got New York City literally 5 minutes away. Like,
The best thing about this campus is the networking that you can make out of it. And that's what people don't see, that because that's what you learn about it within the system, within the university. And I think that's great for all majors in sports as well.
So,
especially having Coach G, who knows literally everybody in the NCAA. So that's huge.
Everybody. G knows everybody.
He had Mike Malone, head coach of Denver Nuggets,
And Brad Stevens.
insane.
I'm taking notes.
Pitino was at our practice. Like, that's crazy.
What was that like? Because I missed those practices. This was before I became a manager. What was it like having Rick Pitino when, you know, that whole scandal with NCAA back with Louisville, that's how they pronounce it. And then he was coaching overseas. What was it like having him at that practice? What was he saying to you guys?
Crazy. Like, I just remember seeing him on TV, like watching Louisville play, seeing him on TV, but seeing him and walk in the gym, I was like, is that really him? He's one of the best coaches in college basketball. And I was like, damn, that's Rick Pitino.
Sheesh.
That is insane, bro. Because, oh my God, like, nah, Coach G knows everybody. When you went there too, and like you see Coach G, like, do you know, like, he knows all these people? Like, is there like once you walk in and you see a coach, it's like you have that automatic respect. But did he win you over knowing that he had these many connections, these many people? You're like, if they like him, I gotta like him.
Dude, how about Kerry Kittles, teammate of Jason Kidd, just coming by and helping us train for practice. He used to always train Darnell Edge. Dude, like, you can't make that up. New Jersey legend. So yeah, answering Ali's question, like, what was that like, seeing these people just come through the doors?
I didn't even know, like, he had those connections with Mike Malone, NBA guys, college guys, like Seth Greenberg. Like, I didn't even know that until I really got here and I found out. But what he was just telling me that sold me was, like, this is a winning culture. This is a winning program. They're in the NCAA tournament. They send guys overseas. They get guys contracts. And that's really
all right. I'm going to put you to the test right now, because exactly those words that you said, that's exactly what he says. What was the phrase that he told you coming into the program? What was that phrase?
That's exactly how he said it. Like, he just told me straight up, like, this is a winning program. We have a winning culture.
What I was saying wasn't there a line? He always says this line. He said it today. I'll say it now. Don't wait to be great.
Yep.
He says that all the time. And you could say, like, if you were in practice, you were always hearing that, it might seem annoying, but dude, that applies to literally
everybody,
everything in life. And it's such a golden statement because it's so true. Like, even as a freshman, Devin Dunn, man, rookie, freaking almost like a rookie of the year. If we were in
I thought he was the rookie of the year. It was so awkward. I was like, rookie of the year. He's like, no.
Nah, he was on the NEC rookie team. First team rookie team.
Still really good.
God damn it, man. Like, seeing your boy like Devin Dunn, like, and of course you could be next, of course, especially with your shooting capabilities, your dribbling move, your ball handle, driving capability. What motivates you to also, win those accolades? Do those accolades matter to you, or is it mostly getting to the chip?
It's always like the goal is always getting to the chip. But I mean, like, personally, we all have goals in life, and that's definitely like something that helps motivate me. Like, seeing my teammates be successful motivates me too. As much as I want my teammates to be successful, and their success, it's like a domino effect. Like,
true.
That's a big statement.
That's huge. That's a good quote, my boy. Domino effect. Oh, that's deep.
God loves gems.
That's deep. I love those quotes. You're gonna see that on my next caption. If you watch my Instagram, my captions are all like little TJ quote. Like, I get it from like quotes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like that little domino effect. Oh, written down.
So listen, Tio, we're talking about like the grit and the grind, just a lot of hard work. You put yourself a lot through blood, sweat, and tears with the sport. You know what? What really like calms you down? Like, leisure time. You know what I mean? Like, I know are you an avid listener of Drake? Like, come on.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Yes, sir. Represent Canada again.
Yo, hold up. Before you even say anything, like, Like I get inspired by like little things. Like for me to get my motor running, like I got to see the littlest thing. And seeing Drake post a picture in 2010 with that phone company, like the plane behind him, and he's like cheesing, and all of a sudden, in 2020, that man has his own like plane,
not jet. That legit
plane,
like a plane.
plane, his color, little bit symbol, and I was like, wow. Like I'm telling you, in the first picture, like Drake's teeth are dirty, like they're like he has a little like chicken in his teeth. Now that boy is like drippy. Like I'm like.
The man is on top of the planet, man. Like he's the man that is known across.
Yo, craziest part. Ready? This is crazy. I'm gonna just share this now. I didn't tell Sal this. So Sal's been saying like, bro, one day we're gonna have like Drake on the show. I'm telling you what I'm like, come on, Sal, like that's crazy. Yesterday I have a dream that Drake was on the show, and it was like he was like telling us like yo, I really like you guys. Like, watch, I'm gonna put y'all on. Like, and he came on the show and did it. And like we blew up. And I woke up and I was so mad it was a dream.
everything he's on, everything he touches,
it goes platinum, bro.
Platinum.
Millions of views.
Yo, it's like the Drake stimulus check, yo. Like Drake, like this Drake stimulus check, bro. Anyone he does music with, it blows up. Like it's crazy to me.
What motivates me too is seeing his freaking mansion, man. Like that's just a dream. That's just a dream of mine to like become that successful, to have the embassy. He calls his home the embassy. Like it's so legendary. Home basketball court, all that. What were you gonna say?
The crazy thing about that is in Toronto, you can drive past his house. Like you can just go to that area where his house is, and you can just drive by and look at his house.
So you've seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah, like the security people won't let you stop in front of the house, obviously, but like you can drive by. A lot of people drive by his house all the time, and just Drake's house. Like you can just drive by it. Like it's in a really like nice part of Toronto. It's a nice part. You can just drive by it.
And you gotta also think about it too. It's like if he can make it, why can't we? You know what I mean? Like, why can't we? What's the difference? Like, it's all about just putting in the work and believing in yourself in anything you do. Like,
listen, he wasn't even a big actor. He was on Degrassi. And boom, he just started rapping. He got that connection with Rihanna, made that track, and god damn it, he went off, man. His albums, Take Care, freaking. The list goes on with all the accolades he's done, but my God.
The crazy part about like the whole Drake situation too is like when I had my heart attack and I was in the hospital and I was going for MRI, they would say, what Pandora radio did you want on? And I would put Drake on. And like I'd be in MRIs for hours and days. And I would have it on. I'd be like, well, what's the one I was thinking about? God's plan. And I'm like moving. I'm moving, right? And like they're like, yo, Oliver, you gotta stop moving, sir. We gotta stop moving. And it's like till this day where I'm like listening to Drake, I'm like, damn, like a year ago I was in an MRI and now I'm here. Like those are little things like that like connect with you, like, damn, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like spiritual and I believe in stuff like that, but it's just
it's so true. Like music stands out in certain moments of my life. And I'll think it like if I listen to a song, like it reminds me of that, moment of my life. Like God's Plan, like I was just thinking about, I remember I had God's Plan listening. So with the scholarship that I received from Fairleigh Dickinson, I got an email from my professor, and I never get emails from my professor, like directly from my professor, unless it's for like an assignment. You know what I mean? Like give me a notice on what's due.
Yeah.
She just tells me to come to her office. And I was like, what the hell did I do? I just took an exam for her. I was like, did I just fail an exam, which is crucial? So I go over there. I was like, okay, go over there. I have God's Plan like playing. I'm just like praying. I'm like, I hope nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. I go in there. She tells me, Sal, come inside, shut the door. I do that. I sit down. Sal, what I'm going to tell you is about to really change your life and your time.
Oh shit! Sal was taking a dump on the seat.
I was like,
had the marks on him, bro.
Dude, I was thinking, I was like, did I just ruin myself? Am I getting kicked out or something? I don't know what I did. She says, Sal, you won the Robert F. Needham Family Scholarship. I was thinking about it. I was like, I applied to a lot of scholarships, but then in a matter of seconds, adrenaline just my emotions just flushed. Everything. I was crying, laughing. Everything was just happening all at once. And I was just like, this is really happening. This is the biggest scholarship, and I'm still on it now. God, thank you, God. And I continue to remind myself what I'm working for each and every day.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is what took me off of debt. This is what really helped my family out, especially my mother, who really helped me so much. Shout out to my mom. She knows what she's
That's a Mama Dukes.
Mama Dukes. And during my process, like FDU wasn't number one for me. And I don't know if it was number one for you, Caleb, especially with the offers that you got with basketball. But for me, just I wasn't an athlete. So I was just looking at education and, you know, what would help me the most for my career in accounting. So hearing that news, I was just like, oh my God. So anytime I hear God's plan, God damn it, it reminds me of that day. And I'm just so thankful for it.
You know, but the thing is that's the good part about everything. It's you remember that day. It's the minute you start forgetting about those days that problems start. You start forgetting where you came from. Everything is a track. Everything is a road. Everything is a dirt path where you've created that dirt path. And now it's pavement because you've made it to make that motherfucking pavement. You know what I mean? Like you start off with dirt, now it's pavement, now it's concrete. You know what I mean? It's like you've made that path for yourself. So the minute you start forgetting about that dirt road is the minute you start losing yourself in the sauce. So It's like, that's what I keep on saying to myself. It's like, I hit rock bottom at a young age and hell no, am I going to let myself bring down because I failed at something because of this? Like, no, bro, that's still not more important than having my life. You know what I mean? So that's what kept me going every day. Every day it pushes me more and more because it's like just create it, man. Stop feeling bad for yourself. Like stop. Like
you can't feel bad for yourself. Like,
you can.
No one else is gonna feel bad for you. So like, what's that? That only hurts you. Feeling bad for yourself only hurts you and brings you down.
They only 100% true. So Kellen, before we even let you go, I have one special question for you. Like we're talking about music and the importance of growing and stuff like that. How is school? How are you balancing school, being a Division I athlete? Because a lot of people get lost in the sauce and forget about school because of the D1 athlete.
Yeah, no, just from my high school, like I was at a private boarding school. So like they really installed like the importance of time management, having study hall. We had mandatory study hall every day for 2 hours from 6 to 8 every night. So that really installed like that. Like school comes first. School always comes first, and that's something my parents always preached to me. Like, basketball is going to be there for however many years, but your education, your degree, that's going to be there after basketball, during basketball. It's always going to be in your life. So,
absolutely,
that experience at boarding school, that private school, really helped me understand the importance of I need to get this essay done. I need to get this assignment done. I need to do this before the due date. Like, I don't want to have to email my professor. Beg him or her to give me an extension when, you know, I've already had that importance of time management installed in me. And I know I have practice from 11 to 2. I can do this 3 to 4. So just being able to know how to schedule my day appropriately.
That's the biggest thing, scheduling, reminders, all that. You know, like you have to be, not only are you on top of yourself in training, but you got to be on top of yourself with school and priorities, major priorities that will affect you after basketball, after college. So that's huge that one, your parents guided you through that. And of course, you know, with the boarding school as well, like you learned a lot from it. A lot of maturity. I think you gained so much maturity from that. Like if you ever went back into your life and you changed that, I feel like you would be such a different person because that's kind of molded you into what you are today.
Tio is one of the most, I gotta be careful with the word I use here. Most educated, disciplined basketball player at our school without a doubt. And he's so young and he's a sophomore. And I feel like a lot of players can learn from you, even though you're a sophomore, because man, you got your feet on the ground, man. You're 10 toes down. You know what I mean? You're locked in on your stuff, and that's a grind, bro. And it's even if you don't get drafted, which you will, it's like you're locked in with the main goal, which is let's get this stuff done so I can focus on what I love to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So keep doing what you're doing, bro. I can't wait to keep seeing your journey and follow it along.
I did want to ask one last thing. Being that you are Canadian, do you follow the Nelk Boys?
Of course.
Yes.
Am I the only one that's getting like the Nelk Boys recently? Like I'm learning more about them recently.
Oh my God, dude. They were so did you know about the Nelk Boys like when they blew up, or did you know them prior, like before they were like anything like they are now?
I knew about them before they blew up. Like where they started filming was probably like 15, 20 minutes from like the city where I lived. So like I found out about them really quickly. Like they really like they blew up in Canada before they really like blew up in the States. So like just
Okay.
it's like one of the pranks they did at one of the movie theater. I was there like that one day they were filming, and I was like,
Oh my God.
Like I just went and said what's up, but they're filming. I was like, damn.
So who'd you meet? You met Kyle?
It was Kyle and Jesse was there too.
Oh my God. How about Steve will do it though? My God. That guy's a maniac. This guy, Ali, like, first off, Ali, these guys don't even get monetized by YouTube. They got like banned from making any currency off YouTube.
Wow.
All they make money off of is off of merch. They have this thing called Full Send Club, and they make money off of merch. What's it called? Signups. Like they have like basically like unfiltered videos, like raw.
They were in the UFC Abu Dhabi recently.
Abu Dhabi, bro. We were just talking. Yo, oh my God. What was your reaction to freaking Steve will do it and Dana White? Like, who would have thought? How about and him with Trump? Like, you can't make this up. Like, what was your reaction to those videos?
That was like watching those videos was just crazy. Like I remember seeing the preview of like the next week's episode after watching them there in Abu Dhabi, and it just says like, yeah, they're meeting Trump on Air Force One.
Like with Dana White. It sounds like a dream, bro. Like these people in the same like vicinity. Like, what is that?
That's crazy.
From Canada in their mid-20s going to Air Force One meeting Donald Trump, President of the United States. Like,
listen, and it's beside politics, like just think about the marketing that all that exposure you're getting for your brand now. Like they've got to be gaining millions of followers, subscribers.
100%.
Oh my God. That was crazy.
On stage. Like they're dancing on stage with Donald Trump.
Celine the Dream is hilarious.
Bro, and it's just crazy because it goes to show you, like, if you build your brand and you believe it, it's going to grow.
Yeah.
Like you got to just give it time, though. You have to. Like
that Drake thing for sure. Like down the line, that's definitely going to happen. I can see that happening for sure with you guys.
Appreciate that, man.
Appreciate that, bro. That's it.
Be like that for sure. Like,
it's just about believing in it, and like I always tell Sal, like there's always gonna be people laughing at us. There's always gonna be people commenting on us. But if they're laughing and talking about us, other people that hear it, like, who the find out too at? Let me go check them out. And they tell their friends, oh, let me check it out. One of them is gonna like it. They're gonna tell someone else, and it's just gonna keep on rolling. It's just gonna be a domino effect. You like that?
And what's that one moment puts you over the top. Boom.
That's what we were trying to do. And then, like, at the end of the day, what 100% we're trying to do is, like, we always say this to ourselves, like, we're staying true to ourselves. We're not sitting here and like talking crazy just to get views or whatever. We're ourselves. This is how we are. We're nothing special. We're nobody's trying to beat somebody's. That's our number one motto. That's what we believe in. And that's what we stay true to ourselves. And we hold each other accountable. We'll go at it if it's need to be, but at the end of the day, we'll shake hands and we'll better each other because all we want to do is grow ourselves and grow this brand. And most importantly, get these people like yourself, people like Seth Greenberg, people like Coach, like, tell their stories, man. Like, listen to them, because if you're somebody trying to be somebody one day, like if you're nobody trying to be somebody one day, like you got to listen to the people that are working to get there. Like, it's easy to hear Drake, oh, I worked this hard. And you're like, yes, great, you did that. But there's a disconnect because he's already there. But if you hear from guys working now to get there, it's like, oh, shoot, this is what these guys have been doing the whole time. Man, oh, then it's not a shocker when you make it. Oh, they got lucky. We didn't get lucky. We worked.
They put that work in. They stay true to themselves. They remember where they came from.
That's it, bro. That's it, man. And keep on doing it, bro.
Sure.
Kill it this year, bro. Whenever you guys get to play, when did your season start?
Our non-conference just came out. Our first game, I think, is the 25th at Quinnipiac, and then 2 days later, we go to Rutgers.
Rutgers, Providence. Whoo, it's gonna be a good season.
It'll be fun, man.
Oh man, I'm hyped. I know you. I remember last year you were taking charge. I remember you started. Was it against Notre Dame? You started.
Yeah.
Dude, that was unbelievable. Seeing you on Fox Sports. Like, this could happen now, especially in these big games, man.
That just motivated me so much. Like, it's Notre Dame. Like, that was a crazy experience.
Real deal, man. Hey, man, I'm so glad I had you on the show, man. It was such a pleasure. Unbelievable story. And I'm hyped to see your success, man, unfold.
Keep, bro, with
having me for sure.
Bro, with that mindset you have, bro, and that dedication and how humble and quiet and locked in you are, bro, I'm telling you, the sky's the limit. Even if it's not with basketball, it's with your career. I'm telling you, bro, keep staying focused. And we're always here, my brother. We're older. We've been through a lot. Like, I'm a phone call away, my dog. So I'm always here for you, bro. And
I'm right here. Absolutely.
I appreciate that, yo. That does mean a lot.
Hell yeah, brother. Yo, Sal, send it off, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was the final 2 podcast with Caleb Baker.
Oh!
For watching.